Okay, so we had a pretty big downturn in the market today, and the downturn is being blamed on a treasury auction. So, to really simplify things, the treasury auction is when the Treasury Department issues new bonds, and there wasn't as much demand at the auction as they would have liked. And I'm seeing some people panicking, and I'm even seeing some people say that the Treasury market is going to completely collapse because the new Republican tax bill is just increases the deficit too much and so forth. So there's a couple of things that I want to point out to you guys that you might not realize if you're not super into the bond market. So first, realize that the auction was for 20-year bonds, and the 20-year bond is kind of weird. There's a lot of people that are really interested in the 10-year, and there's a lot of people that are really interested in the 30-year, but why would you go for 20 years? There's just not as much interest in that part of the curve. That can make the 20-year auctions kind of a little bit weird, and so I would very strongly caution against making huge conclusions just off of that one auction. Now, as for this idea that the bond market will throw a complete fit if Trump's big, beautiful bill is passed, well, there is something that we can compare this to because this happened relatively recently in the UK. There was a tax plan put out that the market really didn't like. The market threw a fit, and the UK government almost immediately backtracked. And don't get me wrong, I don't think that the market likes this bill, but it is nothing like what happened in the UK. That was like the apocalypse is nigh if they passed that thing, right? What we've been seeing lately in the US, we get really big news-driven moves, but during the periods when the biggest players are getting involved, it's been really quiet, which suggests to me that the big players aren't really making any moves yet. And look, we've had bad bills passed in the United States in the past, so I'm not saying that there's not any risks for the market here. I'm just saying don't bet all of your money on just that.